as you know, the Brandathon is coming up really, really soon. In fact, it is only it's 3 weeks away. God, that's gone so quick. It's 3 weeks away, right? So the Brandathon, if you comment the word Brandathon, if you're watching on Instagram, you'll get like a nice fancy auto DM from me that will give you all of the information. It's a completely free challenge that we are running to basically get you from wherever you are now to a brand that has a business that has a magnetic brand that will attract your target audience and stand out online. Now, if you listen to my podcast episode, in fact, what I'll do is I'll grab that because I feel as if that's going to be something that you guys want to listen to. How many of you listened to my podcast episode from Wednesday? I'll pop it in the comments for you. If not, if you go to the podcast, in fact, I think if you go to my link in bio, it will be there. But if you listen to that, and the podcast is called How to Be a Handmade Boss. In fact, what I'll do is I will share my screen so you can see. This is the podcast, right? So if you go to Apple Podcasts and you type in How to Be a Handmade Boss, you will find it, and it's episode 45. We talked all about how marketing has changed since 2020. So if you are someone that started your business during the lockdown and you were like, yeah, everything was going great guns, and then now it's kind of like gradually tailed off, and maybe actually the beginning of this year you have found that it's just been super slow and you're like, what's going on? How do I figure this out? Like, what is it that's not quite hitting home? Then you definitely need to join this challenge, because although it sounds like, oh, it's a branding challenge, like I feel like my branding's okay, actually, if you take the Brandathon test, you will actually see directly how much money your brand is costing you, especially if it looks DIY, especially if it doesn't look so hot. So if you comment the word Brandathon, if you are watching on Instagram, or I will pop it in if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, then yes, you should be able to find that. On Facebook, you can't read your slide stuff, it's really small. I would say, so I'll see what the polls come back to. For now, we're lucky. I'd switch over to Instagram if you can, because everyone is saying it's looking great on there. So if you can't read the slides for now, there's not going to be many slides, to be fair. There's only going to be one that I just flash up like today. But if you, I would say vote on that poll, and just let me know. Maybe like send me screenshots if it does look bad, because obviously I can't see, because when I'm live I can't go on my Instagram profile because it cancels the live out. So it's really annoying when you're like, okay, I literally can't see. But it's definitely something where I have noticed, and the data suggests that we have to be expert marketers now, and that's the thing. And I think that's the missing link, is that you cannot just make pretty products, throw it up and call it a day. Like, you have to be very adept and very good at marketing your products, more so than just posting on social media like, oh, hey, here's this thing that I have, and then calling it a day. Like, you have to really get into the psychologicals of it, rather the psychology of it. You have to really get into that. And on episode 45 on the podcast, it was released Wednesday, we do talk a lot more about that. Okay, but if you comment the word Brandathon, or if you're watching on Instagram, or if you're watching on Facebook, if you click the links that I popped in the comments, or you can just do handmadebosses.com/Brandathon, you can join the challenge. But today, what I will do is I'll just flash this up on the screen, because this is the calendar. And if you guys are struggling to see it, try turning your phone the other way. I wonder, maybe that might be like the easiest way to sort it out. If you turn your phone the other way, or on some browsers, if you have like the settings mode, you should be able to kind of like change it around. But this is basically the rundown of how the challenge will go. So it's not going to take too much of your time. We have kind of like simplified things down. So honestly, it's going to be an amazing challenge. But today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through your brand core values. And actually, what I wanted to do is I wanted to give you guys a bit of a test. So what I want you guys to do is I'm going to flash up 3 different brands on screen. It's going to be their websites. And I want you to tell me, a bit like, do you remember in Friends when, is it Joey says you have to answer the questions without thinking too much? That's basically what I want you guys to do. I'm going to flash up 3 brands on screen, and I want you to tell me the 3 to 5 words that pop into your head. Now, for those people like me who don't think in words but think in images, then just kind of pick a word that represents the image, because I know that there's a lot of like neurodiverse people here, and you don't always necessarily think in words, but a lot of people will think in auditory, or they're thinking like imagery, or almost like watching a video on a screen. So just kind of like summarize whatever you think when you see these brands. All right, let's do the first one. So the first one is IKEA. And I want you guys in the comments to tell me what words you think of when you see IKEA. I think there's a bit of a delay as well. So it might be that awkward moment again where I'm like waiting for comments and you guys are seeing this like a minute behind. But give me your 3 to 5 words when you see IKEA. So I'm going to have a little click through. What's a good now at IKEA new products? Let's have a little look. I want to kind of browse the website so that you guys can get a feel as for what the brand is, what they sell. And I've picked brands that I think most people would know. But if you don't know, just have a little look and kind of just give me the general feels. I'm looking for an about page, about us. Let's have a little look at that, because that's normally like a good one to go for. So let me know, what's your 3 to 5 words? So we have family, we have storage, we have value for money, playful, family, bright, everyday Scandinavian flat pack. Yes. Organization, like it. Modern, clean, sleek, simple, modern. There's a lot of clean, simple, and modern words. Clean, cost, family friendly, clear, simple, clean, creative, home, cozy. So there's a lot of like minimalist, I guess is the word. Clear, clean, simple, value for money, modern, cozy, clean, sleek. Yes, there's a lot of people saying, yeah, it's just like very easy, like very clean, very clear, very sleek. Okay, so hold that in your mind, because IKEA has been very intentional with their branding, with their website, with their stores. Like if you walk into an IKEA store, there's not this like, oh, which aisle is this down, which aisle is that? They actually like a path to follow. They make sure that everything is organized right when you go in. You have a bit of paper, a pencil, a massive trolley, a massive like bag. Everything is very, it's all laid out in a very what's the word, like step-by-step format. And the same with their website. If you go to their homepage, it's all very like storage, beds, living room. Like it's all very easy to find, and it's very, very sleek. You've also got the IKEA offers, which I know are popular for people who love IKEA, and everything is just kind of there. There's no overwhelming imagery like right when you land on the website. You've got the easy menu up here. It kind of just follows that same vein, right? I have most of it in my home. Yeah. Actually, the drawers behind me are the Alex drawers, which were from IKEA. They last really, really well. Okay.